Hello, Mgtows. Hello, man. Hope you're all feeling well today. Hope everything's well. Let me get my sound check if I can. There it is. Okay. You notice something different. This is I was right jacket. This is my I was right jacket. That's what this is going to be about. This is going to be about Mgtow in the future. In the future, when Mgtow is proven right on a lot of things, we bring out our I was right jackets. We bring out our I was right dance. The oh, I was right dance. So in the future, when things change, that's what I'm asking. I'm asking a question today of in the future when things change, when scientists discover things, when men wake up, when people start accepting things the way they are in reality, not in their minds or not in the world of metaphysics, but in reality. And certain people will be able to do the I was right dance, wear the I was right jacket. What happens then? Will Mgtow be right? No, I don't think Mgtow will be right. I think they'll never say that Mgtow was right. I think someone else would just take credit for it, and they'll move along. What happens when guys like Angry Harry are proven right? Well, he'll never get credit for it. Somebody else will just take credit for it, and they'll disregard that they made his life miserable for him. Now, lately, let me screen share with you. You all remember my video, parasitical bacteria that was taken down, and I was giving, let me see, your screen share, Chrome, share. Okay, they're not letting me do that. Screen share. Is it actually picking it up? It's not picking it up. Okay, they're not going to let me share this with you. Okay, let's see how this works. Well, they're going to screw this up. They're going to not let me have my I was right moment. Oh, yeah. Okay, I think that's what you're seeing now. I can't see what you're seeing, so we're going to go to the page that I'm talking about. We're going to go to this page, and I'm going to take a look, and you're going to see 5 things you didn't know about antibiotics in your brain. This guy talks about stories about white hats and black hat antibiotics and scoffs and binary plots. And what he's talking about binary plots is gender dynamics. And they're going to talk about, he's not going to say it. He's not going to say that what is their tendency to oversimplify antibiotic use, the tendency to not look at what it does in the brain, the tendency to not know about what it is in the brain that actually does these things. In the 1882 Robert Koch, he goes some history about tuberculosis and bacteria, and what they found is the bacteria has effects on your neurotransmitters. When bacteria is killed off in the body, it has effects on the neurotransmitters too. It plugs the neurotransmitters since the 0.24 blood-brain barrier has been breached by a 0.42, and that's what I was describing in a video that got taken down by YouTube and said that I was being bigoted and racial. Drug-altering, it's a drug-altering microbiota is what they called it. So they're going to admit the fact that there's mind-altering microbiota that goes along with a lot of other things rather than just maternal antibiotics. We're not going to go over this whole article. This article just proves me right. Antibiotics cause psychosis from killing off all those bacteria. Antibiotics can cure psychosis. And the upshot of this is vast. And so about a year later, let's go back to the page. Let's come back, and then you can see my pretty face here. Cancel. Oh, I don't even think you even got that. That part. I don't even know if I'm broadcasting here. So what happens here is about a little over a year ago that my video was taken down. It was deemed that I was saying something against gynocentrism. What I was saying against was gynocentrism was there's some bacterial links between love, blood-brain barrier, dead bacteria, which is known as pheromones. And what happens to a male when that happens? It becomes very parasitical. It becomes very systemic to the way his brain functions, and the parts of the brain start pumping out. The parts of the brain start pumping out certain chemicals and everything because of the bacteria. And my video was taken down, and I was giving a warning to not say things like that, and they said I was basically wrong. But modern science is going to catch up to me. Modern science is going to catch up to me when they admit that I was right about those things. And my video was 100% on the money, right about that. But still, I had to go through that horrific experience of having my video taken down and being put through a lot of garbage that I had no fault in. There was no blame on my part. I was just telling people exactly how things work in the male brain. So in the future here, when Mgtow is slowly proven right, pieces and bits at a time about what they're saying, will we get an apology for this? I doubt it. There'll never become an apology. Will we get credit for these things that we've said and discovered? No, we will not get credit. Somebody else, as long as they have more credentials than you, will get credit for that. I'm 100% right about what I was saying. My video that they took down, that YouTube took down, was 100% right. It may have not have been 100% right in their view then, but it was 100% right in the modern view of bacteria and antibiotics. Now, if this be true, this be true too. Do you think YouTube will search back in their records and say, hey, so things have changed? Are some of this stuff right? All these people that we took down. Now we can take this out into a bolder world. A lot of people get taken off of YouTube. A lot of people get deplatformed for saying things that are progressive, that are saying things that people don't believe. I mean, Galileo looked up into the stars, and he came back and he wrote what he's seen. And he was just writing down what he's seen. He observed the objective observable. And then the whole world went nuts and called him a liar. They wanted to put him in jail. They did put him in jail. They said, no, you're a lunatic. You're a fanatic. We can't have that. But he was right. And during his lifetime, maybe he wasn't proven to be right, but he was right. Does the church at that time, does the people come back and say, oh yeah, Galileo was right, and we were awful people. We were horrible people. In a sense, Mgtow has to go through this, in the sense of a lot of pundits and a lot of people, even some conspiracy theorists, conspiracy theorists in the future may be proven right. And we see this every day, but no one ever goes back on those old videos on YouTube or those old information where people were called lunatics and fringe lunatics and asked, was this man right? Should he be vindicated? No, they're not going to do that. They would never admit to being wrong. And that's what it was in the beginning. They will never admit to being wrong. So it's a double-edged sword being right on YouTube. And I was 100% right about my thesis on bacteria and love. And I'm still 100% right, hence my I'm right jacket. I know you guys just love my pretty face, but it brings up a whole different question in Mgtow. What happens when we are proven right? Will we get apologies from these forums that these platforms that said we were wrong? I was 100% right. Some other people in the future may be proven right by science, or maybe sociology will just steer towards what we are saying and saying, you know, those Mgtows, they were onto something. But all the torture and all the things that happen nowadays, and all the things that we've had to go through, will we ever be vindicated for that? Will we ever have anybody say your name out loud and say, Joe, Whiskey, Father No, Stardust, Barbarossa, CS, you innovators of Mgtow, all you guys, you were right. I don't think they will ever, ever say that. But as time goes on, and as we see Mgtow progress, and as time goes on, we'll see Mgtow becoming more and more right. Just like I was right. But a year, 2, 3 years ago when I made that video, it was crazy science. Crazy science. What are you talking about, Joe? What are you talking about? Bacteria has an effect on the blood-brain barrier, which causes the neurons to act differently. Now, if you said that to a doctor today, he would go, yeah, that's right. There's a lot of things that there's a lot of things that happen in the brain. The blood-brain barrier is, you know, there's an opening there and there's a closing there. Some things get clogged, some things get, bacteria is larger. It just makes sense when this is killed off in these, and what happens, it makes sense. What happens when pheromones hit us? But they were saying, no, that's crazy science, Joe. What are you talking about? That's crazy science. But today, they say, oh, yeah, in a different form, in a different way. They'll say, when you get antibiotics, it has a effect on your brain. It kills off all those bacteria that I was speaking at, and those dead bacteria do something. What happens when you wake up after a flu? That was my analogy. When you wake up after having a flu for a few days, a week, and you had penicillin pumped in you. Did you ever go through that feeling when the first time you walked out of that bed and the whole world looked different? And you were looking at things and it wasn't quite the way it was. And you felt good. And you wanted to play and you wanted to get out. And you were aching, but something was different about the way you were thinking. That's what Mgtow is. You remove those things from your brain. You remove these things, this input of bacteria, and we all know where that comes from. And things clear up for you. You start looking at the world very truthfully, very honestly, and things look better. Things look, I once said after this experience, a tree didn't look like a tree anymore. There was something beautiful about the tree that I had never seen before, or at least never noticed. What happens when men start getting that sort of thinking, want to think clearly anymore? They no longer want to be infected. They no longer want to have all these bacteria and these dead bacteria floating around in their system. They no longer want to bring this into their life unsafely. And that's all I was saying in the video, where I was right. And these things have an effect on your They have an effect on your IQ. They have an effect on your feelings. They have an effect on your emotions. They have an effect on the chemicals that are being pumped into your system when you take in these bacterias. That's all I was saying. And I was right. I was 100% right. But YouTube took me down and gave me a community strike. Not because I was swearing, because I never swear. Not because I was wrong, because they disagreed with what I had. My content, what I was saying was too harsh for them. What I was saying led to the conclusion that Mgtow is right. Today I got a little vindication. Nobody in the world will know this. And the scientists and the doctors will go on and they will say, oh, we can accept this now. But they'll never know that 3, 4, up to 10 years ago, Joe was saying this same exact thing. And all the world was saying, Joe, you're crazy. That's not true, Joe. More gaslighting from the world on the intellectual community. Today I get to wear my I was right jacket. And I was right. But YouTube will never put that video back up. YouTube destroyed it. They chopped it up. And an info incinerator. An information incinerator that keeps people stupid. Because they had decided at that time that that information could not be released because it was too socially dangerous. Yes, we are socially dangerous as Mgtows, but we are not wrong. Now you can see I'm a little upset about that. And I was upset about it when they took me down. And then they refused to let me podcast for 6 months after that. They punished me in so many ways. For what? Some Mgtows even took up arms against me. Other Mgtows took up arms against me. Said, Joe, you were wrong. But I was proven right. I was proven right. By who? Scientists. The same science I was quoting from. The same science that I live and believe in. Galileo was right too. Did they ever apologize? Yeah. He got a social apology after he was dead, which is no apology at all. He got a social apology from the scientific community that so berated him at the time after he was dead. Many men will experience this in your life if you're on a cutting edge of something. Like Mgtow. Mgtow is progressive. It's on a cutting edge. We think these things that we say, we believe in vehemently, and we have a right to believe in them, whether metaphysically or scientifically. We have a right to believe in Mgtow. But so many of us over the last 10 years have been disposed of, have been eliminated off of YouTube. Not too many people have been tenacious like I. And I think we'll find out in the future that Mgtow is right about more things. Mgtow is right about a lot of things. We have to stick with our guns. And even though you will never get credit for saying that because they disposed of that information, they destroyed it in an information destroyer, an info destroyer. You know what an info destroyer is? In every government office, they have these things. They used to be able to shred paper, and you'd be able to paste it back together and get what's on the paper. So now they have info destroyers that pulverizes it, and you got a vacuum, and you go zzz, and it takes the dust out of there, and nobody can. You would have you could never glue that back together. That's an info destroyer. But YouTube does that every day. They destroy information about people that you either stumble on it or their research that YouTube doesn't agree with. And YouTube didn't agree with what I was saying. So they took me down, made me suffer. Would I get an apology? No. No. Never. Can I write them and ask them to put that video back up? No. No, they would never answer me. Because it'd be too hard on their delicate sensibilities to say, oh, you were right and we were wrong. Mgtow will have to go through this a lot in the future. And it'll take science. It'll take technology. It'll take sociology. Someday we'll get, every one of you guys will get to wear your I was right jacket and do the, oh, I was right. I was right. Ooh, ooh, I was right dance. And I was right. But I get to silently do the dance on my silent station here on my silent YouTube because they silently censor me. And that's all I wanted to talk about today. I get to enjoy my day wearing my I was right jacket. They will never admit it, but oh, 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 in your face, YouTube, I was right. I'll post in the low bar the article if you want to read it. And I'll do that sometime today at some point or after this video if you want to. I'll go and read that and think about what I said about bacteria and love and the human brain and what comes on, what goes off, and things that happen with that. It's very parasitical. It's very chemical. But no one says how it happens. Well, we know how it happens. It happens bacteria, pheromones, dead bacteria. And I was right. So that's all today, guys. I could talk about this forever, but you'll get sick of hearing me going, oh, I was right. I was right. So I'll let you go. I just wanted to make a short video. I have to get back to what I was doing anyways. You can see my actual clothes underneath is work clothes. So you all take care. And you guys have a great day. And most of all, keep being Mgtow, because someday, each and every one of you Mgtows are going to get to have your I was right moment. I was a Mgtow. Do the dance. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I was right. Every one of you should enjoy that before you die. And you were right, Mgtow, and you are right. Don't ever let them tell you that you were wrong. And most of all, Mgtows, go your own way. Go your own way. And most of all, thanks a lot for being Mgtow. Mgtow.